अली भाई मैम ने नहीं आना।
पता नहीं यार, मुझे नहीं पता आना या नहीं।
यार तो ना ही है।
यार लेट आते हैं दिमाग खराब होता है। टाइम पर आ जाओ यार।
Guys, hello, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you?
I'm too fine. Where are the students? Just two students?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are the students?
Ma'am, no idea about them.
Oh, okay, let's wait 2 minutes, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Mataula, please write to your group or call for them.
Okay, ma'am. Let me write now.
Okay.
मती केड़ी शायद लेक्चर है
मैम नूर पेरी
लेक्चर होने लगा।
नूर प्यारी थी मतलब केड़ी शायद है
What's happened, Majid Rihman?
nothing
medical biology. Ma'am, we discussed about respiration last chapter, last in lecture.
And this is 6th topic, yes? Inheritance on the organism level.
Okay, ma'am.
Inheritance on the organism level, monohybrid and dihybrid crosses, solution of the genetic problems. Okay, what is the genetics and what is the heredity?
Ma'am, it is the transmission of a character from one generation to another generation. And heredity is also the same meaning. Suppose that the father has the eyes weak problem, then his son will have also eyes weak problem. So it is the inheritance. And same, it is the genetic problem.
Yes, it's when an organism's property to transmit their traits and development, yes, in line of following generations, and because of heredity, the many species having been preserved and unchanged during the 100 million years. Okay, and what is the diversity?
Yes, ma'am.
Diversity.
Diversity means the variety of life in which means the quality of living, the cultures, the opposed to monocultures, the global cultures, the homogenization of cultures, and cultural decay. These all things are called diversity.
Yes, it's a variety of individual or group traits and properties, and the diversity is a reflection of unstable preserving and individual heredity information, and it includes of gain changing and gain combinating and changes in the gain expression throughout individual development, and like heredity and diversity are two fundamental properties of life matter, and okay, and that's all about diversity.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think, Farhan Unar?
Yes, ma'am.
Farhan Unar, are you here?
Oh, Farhan Unar, okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the diversity?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the diversity?
Diversity, ma'am.
Mhm. You
Ma'am,
are in bazaar?
ma'am, I am in village, ma'am. Praying, offering prayer, ma'am.
Good
And
afternoon, ma'am.
it's not bazaar time. Now listen.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Farhan Unar, 0.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
चुप सा है
Majid Rehman will
ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ
continue.
ਬੰਦ ਕਰਾਓ ਯਾਰ
Good afternoon, ma'am.
yes
Good
ma'am
afternoon.
ma'am diversity means the variability amongst the living organisms it could be from all sources like marine life in on the earth terrestrial and other ecosystems.
And why are you absent? Why you was absent last lesson?
Ma'am, I was not absent. We were present during last lesson, and you let us go for Juma prayer,
And
and we were attending the lecture.
but I wrote you was absent.
No, I was not absent, ma'am. We were not absent last time.
Ma'am, he came a little bit late, ma'am. 10 to 15 minutes late.
Majid te absent pe barkalo.
In your group, I know just Mateula. That's all.
Ma'am, we also attend the lectures, every lecture.
Ma'am, Farhan Ahmad always present in your lecture.
Farhan Ahmad.
Yes, ma'am.
Yay.
Ma'am, please put my number in practice class.
Okay.
Ma'am, please put my number in practice class.
Agora se aceita da minha boca.
Farhan Ahmad, what's happened with you?
Ma'am, not happen, but I said only I always present in your class. Please don't absent to me, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Majid Rehman, continue.
Yes, ma'am. So diversity is basically, ma'am, variation uh, in the different ecosystem that exist, and the it may be in different sort of species that are living uh, on this planet. It it could be in the marine life as well as the human beings. Like people have different genetic makeup. All all the people, and they have a different eye color or skin color. So there is a lot of variations. There are a lot of variations in their physical appearance as well. So all these things come under the diversity and variations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about gain level of heredity information organization?
Gene level, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, there are 23 pairs of genes in our human body, and each gene 23 pair of chromosomes, and there are a lot of genes on each chromosomes.
And
So
what is the
every
gene?
gene is a transcribed part of the DNA that can express and make proteins or can appear as a phenotype.
Mm-hmm. It's a unit of heredity, yes, that is passed from
Yes, ma'am.
parent to offspring. And
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
So genetic makeup is different in every human beings, and due to genes, we make proteins and skin color, eye color, hair color, and a lot of other things. So genetic variability is also important.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mataula.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you complete about Mendel level,
Ma'am, which level?
Mendel inheritance?
Mendel,
Mendel's law.
Yes.
Ma'am, Mendel's law of segregation.
Yes, Mendelian inheritance.
Yes, ma'am. Mendel's law of heredity usually states that the law of segregation uh, includes the dominance law, law of segregation, and independence assortment.
Mm-hmm.
And in the law of segregation, it is the type of biological inheritance that follows the principles um and popularized by William Batson. It is
Mm-hmm.
commonly known as the means law of segregation, commonly known as the Mendel's first law, and that is the idea that every inheritable trait or gene, as we now call them, is controlled by a pair of factors or alleles, and those pairs of alleles which you make gametes separate from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it also states that the two alleles of single trait will separate randomly, meaning that there is a 50% either allele which ends up in the either gamete.
What is the allele?
Ma'am, allele,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, ma'am,
counterpart of a gene, ma'am.
ma'am, allele is the variant form of gene.
Yes, different forms of a gene. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And
Ma'am, like some genes have a variety of different forms which are located at the same position or genetic
mm-hmm.
locus on a chromosome. So
Mm-hmm.
humans are diploid organisms because they have two alleles at each genetic locus, with one allele is inherited from each parent.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the simple things about allele.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. Next lesson, just remember or write. Next lesson, I will explain all these topics about genetic, and we should solve the exercises, tasks. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And today we'll just
Ma'am,
uh,
will we solve exercises in next lecture?
yes, next lecture I will explain again about genetics and the next topic, and we will solve exercises together,
And
Okay,
of
ma'am,
course.
what
okay,
about
ma'am.
Moodle assignment?
Model, you have after the 1 week.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Means for this week we are free for module assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. The sex is 6 lesson. Oh, sorry, 8 lesson.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ma'am, I submitted the task 4 and task 5.
Mm-hmm.
So now we will write the task 8.
No, today I will upload your homework about this one,
Okay, ma'am.
just exercises, and for the next lesson, we'll together, of course, also solve the another questions, exercises, and the tasks. And in the 8th lesson, you have a module. Module half part will be variably, and another part will be on the model.
Okay, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Half part will be verbally, and half part will be on the model, your
Okay, ma'am.
model.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Okay. Okay, continue. Okay, what is the genotype and phenotype?
Ma'am, genotype.
Yes.
Ma'am, genotype is an individual's collection of genes. Like it also refers to the two alleles inherited for a particular gene, and the genotype is expressed when the information encoded in the gene's DNA is used to make protein and RNA molecules. Uh, for example, a gene encodes eye color, and the brown allele is dominant, and the blue allele is recessive. Brown,
Yes.
yes. So this is the example of allele. Oh, sorry, it
Mm-hmm.
is the example of genotype.
Yes. And what about the gene expression and repression?
Ma'am, genes expression.
Yes, and repression.
Ma'am, genes expression is the process by which information of gene is used in the synthesis of functional gene product that enables it to produce protein as the end product. And about gene depression, ma'am, gene depression is the chromosome you can say the chromosome is found that cause the gene depression.
That's all? What about
Uh,
operon? What does it mean, operon?
yes, ma'am. What, ma'am?
Operon.
Operon, ma'am. Please write in chat.
Okay. Wrote to the chat.
Okay, ma'am. Let me see. Oh, okay, ma'am. Operon. Ma'am, these are the regions of DNA that contains the clusters of genes, and they are made up of a promoter region and operator and multiple related genes. And the operator can be located either within the promoter or between the promoter and the genes. And RNA polymerase initiates transcription by binding to the promoter region. And uh, these clusters share the same promoter and and are transcribed as a single large messenger RNA that contains multiple structural genes or histones.
Okay, Matula, wait. Okay. Farhan Ahmad.
Yes, ma'am.
Farhan Ahmad, please write. Your question is DNA reparation.
Huh?
DNA reparation.
Ma'am, what name? Genetic reparation?
I wrote to the chat, Farhan Ahmad, your question. DNA reparation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. DNA reparations.
Okay. Prepare now. And next one. Uzayv Zauzbairi, yes? Uzayv Zubairi, are you here?
Ma'am, this is not a reparation. I think DNA repairing.
What?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
Farhan Ahmad, now you get 0. Uzaev Zubairi. Okay, your question is the genetic engineering.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am. Hi, hi,
ma'am,
hi.
I prepare DNA reparations, ma'am. Please put my
Okay,
number.
okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Uzaev Zubairi, please write the genetic
Yes, ma'am.
engineering.
Ma'am, what? Ma'am, kindly write in the chat, please.
Ay,
Ma'am, your voice is not so clear. That's why I said you please written in the chat.
I wrote the
Because
chat.
ma'am,
Uzaev
here,
Zubairi.
because ma'am here in Pakistan there are a lot of nets problem.
Mm-hmm. Ali Tasaddiq,
Yes, ma'am.
your question is the statements of gene theory.
What, ma'am?
Gene theory,
Gene theory?
yes.
Ma'am, gene theory. All organisms inherited the genetic information specifying
No,
their
wait. Just prepare, okay?
gene theory.
Yes.
It is idea that genes are basic units.
भाई वो कह रहा है कि तैयार करो, तैयार अभी नहीं बोलना है, ठीक है?
Okay, okay.
You will answer later.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, next one. Kifayatullah. What's happened with this student? Kifayatullah.
Matiullah, Mati,
जी
ओए Matiullah.
क्या है
Kifayatullah.
मैम किफायतुल्लाह ऑडियो इज डिस्कनेक्टेड मैम
ओए Matiullah,
कैन
बात
नॉट
सुन, Matiullah, बात सुन, Matiullah, बात सुन, मैडम को कि मैं ना बाहर हूँ, तो हमारे ना घर ना रिश्ते वाले आए हुए हैं, ठीक है, और तो मैं उनके लिए ना रिश्ते लेने जा रहा हूँ, तो मैडम को इंग्लिश में समझा.
अच्छा ठीक
What?
है मैम he says that he is outside the home because some guests came to his home for his engagement
And?
so
Congratulations.
Ma'am,
so
and
he will
today that's very
Ma'am, I think
Congratulations, Joseph.
Ma'am, Uzair
ma'am,
Zubairi is getting engaged.
yes ma'am today he will be engaged
Kifayatullah 0.
okay
He is
Okay.
going to
And what about Farhan Unar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Farhan Unar.
Yes, ma'am.
Your question is monohybrid cross.
Mono.
Okay, I will write.
Yes, ma'am. Right in the text, ma'am.
You are in bazaar.
Actually, ma'am, I'm in the village, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now I'm. Yes, ma'am. Right in the.
I wrote the chat. Okay, Majid Rahman.
Yes, ma'am.
Your question is digibrid cross.
Dihybrid cross.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now Mateola continue about what? About
ma'am I was talking about operons
yes, expression and repression. Okay. What
no
is the
ma'am
repression and what is the expression?
no ma'am I was talking about operon
Okay, operon, yes.
ma'am operons are the regions of DNA that contains the clusters of genes and they are made up of they are made up of promoter region and multiple related genes and the operator can be located either within the promoter or between the promoter or and the gene and
Mm-hmm.
RNA polymerase initiates transcription by binding to the promotion region and these are the operons are the clusters of genes that share the same promoter and are transcribed as a single large messenger RNA.
Yes.
Single large messenger RNA, you can say that contain multiple structural genes or cistrons, etc.
Consist of 21 nucleotide pairs?
No, ma'am.
Mm.
They contain multiple structural genes.
Oh, okay.
These are called the genetic regulatory system that found in bacteria and viruses.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. In which the gene coding is occurs for functionally related proteins.
Mm-hmm.
And this feature of the operon allows the protein synthesis to be controlled directly in response to needs of the cell.
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am, this is
And
about the
what is the regulation?
ma'am. What regulation?
The operon working regulation types, yes?
Yes, ma'am. Means you are asking about the regulations of operon.
Yes. Regulation
Yes,
types,
ma'am.
and uh, you have direction of regulation, and we have induction and repression, yes, and negative regulation and positive regulation. And what happens with induction and with negative regulation?
Ma'am, negative regulation
Yes.
in operon.
Yes, in induction, yes.
Ma'am, negative regulation forms of regulation that involves the lac repressor protein which binds the sequence of nucleotides that found within the lac operator site. And once the lac repressor binds, it
Mm-hmm.
prevents RNA polymerase to transcribe. And
Yes.
then RNA polymerase is the free to transcribe the operon.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, this is about the negative regulation.
Yes, negative regulation when a factor breaks regulatory protein binding to operator, yes, and structural
Yes.
genes are transcribed. And what about positive regulation?
Ma'am, the association between RNA polymerase and DNA is enhanced when the CAP and CAMP complex is present. And
Mm-hmm.
enhanced RNA polymerase binding leads to a high rate of transcription and translation of the lac operon structure. And this
Mm-hmm.
the protein products of lac A, lac Y, and lac Z metabolize lactose into glucose.
Mm-hmm. When a factor enables, yes, regulatory protein to bind operator.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what about depression?
Yes, ma'am. Repression
Yes, with the
means
negative regulation.
yes, ma'am. REP. Uh,
When a factor enables regulatory protein to bind operator, and positive, it's a factor breaks regulatory protein.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the additional control system on the repressor operating system, and that this system exists because the cells have specific enzymes that favor glucose uptake and metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
And the lag repressor is a protein that represses the transcription of the lag operon. And when lactose is not available, the lag repressor binds tightly to the operator that prevents the transcription by DNA polymerase. And when
Mm-hmm.
lactose is present, the lag repressor loses its ability to bind the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about the repression of lag
And
operon.
what about expression?
Ma'am, expression, I explain about expression like
It's a genetic control of human hemoglobin
yes,
synthesis, yes?
yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. When
And
hemoglobin molecule contains 4 polypeptide chains,
yes, ma'am, बहुत बड़ी big
2 identical alpha chains and 2 identical beta chains.
Beta, yes, ma'am, beta chain.
When adult hemoglobin HbA is differed from embryo hemoglobin HbF, and the difference are related with beta chains, And
ma'am.
embryos hemoglobin, there is no beta chain, and it is
Yes.
replaced by alpha chain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. The next one is a DNA reparation.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Farhan
ma'am,
Ahmad.
ma'am, can I off the mic?
What?
Ma'am, can I turn
Most
off my mic?
most damage to DNA is repaired by removal of the damaged bases followed by resynthesis of excised regions. Some lesion
Mm-hmm.
in DNA, however, can be repaired by direct reversal of the damage, which may be a more efficient way of dealing with specific types of DNA damage that occur frequently. DNA
Yes,
is
it's a process of restoring, yes, natural DNA structure.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
DNA is a dynamic and adaptable molecules is such the nucleotide sequences found within it rare subject to change is the result of phenomena called mutation. Sometimes a mutation may even cause a dramatic change in the physiology of the affected organisms. Ma'am, what are the causes of DNA damage? DNA damage can be subdivided into two types. Endogenous damage caused by reactive oxygen species that are derived from metabolic byproducts, and number two, exogenous damage caused by radiations, X-rays, gamma rays, hydrolysis, plant toxins, and viruses. Ma'am, what is the direct repair of DNA? Introductions. Direct repair is defined as the elimination of DNA and RNA damage using a chemical reversion that does not require a nucleotide template breakage of the phosphodiester backbone or DNA synthesis, which vitamins help with DNA repairs. Which vitamins help with DNA repairs? Vitamin B12 and folate have also been found as essential for DNA metabolism. In short, folic acids, vitamin B12 are required for the maintenance of DNA conformation and methylation patterns. Is DNA damage reversible? Of course, reversible. Cells are known to eliminate three types of damage to their DNA by chemically reversing, and these mechanisms do not require a template since the types of damage they counteract can occur in only one.
What's happened?
Ma'am, signal counteract can occur in only one of the four bases. Ma'am, can DNA be changed from male to female? Genetic overall cannot be changed.
What's happened?
Ma'am, can DNA be changed from male to female? Six chromosomes. Ma'am, it, ma'am. Ma'am, it's bus that.
Okay, you will answer later.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next one.
Ma'am, I complete. Ma'am,
The genetic engineering.
ma'am, my complete lecture of DNA reparations, ma'am.
That's all?
Complete my ma'am, complete lecture, my lecture.
I don't understand. You want to complete?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's sufficient.
Yes, okay, complete.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how many put number in this lecture?
Number?
Yes, ma'am.
Which number?
Ma'am, practice class numbers. I think 20 marks in a practice class.
What? Matullah, I don't understand. Please explain. Do you understand him?
जी फरहान भाई क्या बोल रहे हो?
मैम को कह दो कि मेरा 20 नंबर डाल दो, प्रैक्टिस का 20 नंबर होते हैं.
Ma'am, he
Ma'am,
wants
he
20
said
marks.
that he won 20 marks in the day's practice class.
Oh, wait. Farhan Ahmad. I have a question for the Farhan Ahmad. Okay, what is the dark reparation and what is the post-replicative reparation?
What, ma'am?
What is the dark reparation
Dark reparation.
and
Dark reparations.
post-replicative reparation?
Ma'am, dark reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, of repair, dark repairs. A light and dependent repair mechanism that involves three steps. Recognitions of bending to and removal of damaged DNA, repair synthesis of excisor region by DNA polymerase. Number three, ligation by DNA ligase to seal the break. Ma'am, DNA excision repair also referred to as dark repairs. In comparisons, and most other repair mechanisms are frequently referred to as dark repair, as they do not require light as any energy source. Ma'am, dark reactions used in enzymes called N-glycosylase to cleave cross-link in DNA.
Yes.
And glycocyclase does not require energy from the sun.
Mm-hmm. And what about post-replicative reparation?
Ma'am, what a post?
Replicative reparation.
Ma'am, post-application repair is
Post-replicative reparation.
post-application repair is a mechanism specialized in tolerating a lesion in single-stranded template. DNA replication is a multi-step process with two key events. Unwinding of the invalid double helix to expose ssDNA and number two, using this DNA as template to synthesize daughter synthesis. Post-replication repair is the repair of damage to the DNA that take place after replication. Some example genes in human include BRCA2 and BRCA1, BLM, and BSI. DNA damage prevent the normal enzymatic synthesis of DNA by the replication of fork. Yes, ma'am.
That's all? Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's performed by recombination, yes? Fragments exchange between the two newly made DNA molecules. It's a post-replicative reparation.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Farhan Ahmad, 20.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
How
24.
ma'am.
many marks for me?
Okay.
Very, ma'am,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, how many marks for me? Matiullah.
20, Matullah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, it's my turn
Okay.
now.
Farhan Ahmad, like you look like you're drunk. Okay, next one, the genetic engineering. Genetic engineering, Uzaif Zubairi, your question. Uzaif Zubairi, I'm waiting you.
Ma'am, he said that he is outside the home.
Ma'am, Uzeb Zuperi today is engagement.
Ma'am, today he
Okay,
is going to
absent.
Ma'am, should I continue my topic?
Who wants to continue?
Majid Rahman.
Okay, Majid Rahman.
My topic is dihybrid cross.
Oh no, stop. And monohybrid cross. Farhan Ahmad,
Yes.
please turn off your microphone.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Mono hybrid cross, ma'am.
Yes.
It's my
Yes.
topic, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
What is the cross?
Yes, ma'am. Monohybrid cross is a genetic mix between two individuals who have homozygous genotypes or genotypes that have completely dominant or completely recessive alleles, which result in opposite phenotypes for a genetic trait, ma'am. Ma'am,
Mhm.
example, pea plant is an example of monohybrid grass. A cross between
Mhm.
two creates heterozygous offspring. And ma'am, further I am telling about the monohybrid cross that is defined the cross happening in the F1 generation offspring of parents differing in one trait only.
Mhm.
Ma'am, and monohybrid outcross is a cross between unrelated individuals of same species that involves only one character. It involves the cross between F1 progeny and homozygous dominant parent. For example, in pea plant, the cross between F1 generation and homozygous dominant parent represents outcross. Ma'am,
Mhm.
and the ratio, a monohybrid cross results in a phenotypic ratio 3 and 1, dominant to recessive, and a genotypic ratio 1 to 1, homozygous dominant to heterozygous to homozygous recessive. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. The monohybrid cross is a genetic cross between homozygous individuals with different alleles for a single gene, yes, locus of interest, and one character is considered and studied, and a single pair of genes is involved. And what about phenotypic ratio?
Yes, ma'am. I have told you the phenotypic ratio, ma'am. 3 to 3 1.
Yes, 3 to 1, yes, and important for determining the dominance relationship of the alleles. Okay, this was.
Ma'am, can I tell you the difference between monohybrid and dihybrid, ma'am?
No, wait. This was Majid Rahman, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Majid Rahman, can you say me about what is the reparation?
Ma'am, my
Because
topic
guys
is
explained about this one.
my topic is dihybrid cross.
Yes, wait, oh, sorry. Monohybrid cross. Farhan Unar, your question, yes?
Yes, ma'am. It's my topic, ma'am. Ma'am, can I tell you about something little more bit about it?
Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm telling about back cross in which is back cross in monohybrid, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ma'am. When F1 individuals are crossed with one of the two parents, then such a cross is called back cross. And
Mm-hmm.
and there is a test cross. I am telling about this. When F1 is back crossed with its recessive plant parent, it is called test cross. Monohybrid
Mm-hmm.
test cross gives 1-1 phenotypic ratio, ma'am. And
What is the
yes, ma'am.
test cross?
Ma'am, ma'am, when F1 is back crossed with its recessive parent, it is called test cross, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And ma'am, um, uh,
What is
and
that test cross?
ma'am, I have told you, ma'am, when F1 is back crossed with a recessive parent, it is called test cross, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, how many traits does a monohybrid cross examine? Can I tell you about that?
Okay. What is the test cross?
Ma'am, my parents are laughing, ma'am. So, yeah, just a minute. Yes, ma'am. What is test
What is
cross,
the
ma'am?
test cross? Yes.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, I'm telling you about when F1 is back crossed with its recessive parent, it is called test cross, ma'am.
It is called S cross or test cross.
Test cross, ma'am.
I have an internet problem. Okay. Digibreed cross.
Yes, ma'am.
Digibreed cross. Majid Rahman.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, dye means two. So in dye hybrid cross or experiment, basically two characteristics are studied at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And what
And
is the Mendelian cross?
Mendel did perform this experiment on the sea plant seeds, ma'am, and he studied seed shape and seed color. When he crossed the yellow and round seed with the green and wrinkled seed, which was recessive basically, and yellow and round was basically dominant. Why? Because when he crossed the yellow and round seed with the green and recessive, F1 generation was totally first generation of the seeds was totally yellow and round. So this proved that the yellow and round characteristic was the dominant one. So this was the first generation, and then he tried to cross the F1 generation products seeds with each other, and then he came up and he found uh, startling differences in the seed shape and color. Like there were in F2 generation, there were seeds, there were round and yellow seeds as well. There were green and yellow round seeds as well. There were yellow and wrinkled and green and wrinkled seeds as well. So he found a ratio of 9 ratio 3 ratio 3 ratio 1.
Mm-hmm.
So this was his experiment. It was basically dye hybrid because he studied basically two characteristics or phenotypes of a gene.
Mm-hmm. And can you compare with the monogibrid with the digibrid?
Ma'am, mono hybrid experiment, he basically studied only one characteristics, and that was seed shape. So in that shape, P seed, round seed was dominant, and the wrinkle one was recessive. So in F1 generation, he received totally round seeds, and when he tried to cross the F1 generation seeds with each other, he found mostly round seeds plus wrinkled seeds. So the ratio was overall 3 ratio 1. So
Mm-hmm.
means round seeds were dominant and the wrinkled one was recessive.
Mm-hmm.
So this was monohybrid cross.
Okay. And last question about solution of genetic problem. Matullah,
Ma'am, how many marks did I get?
how many points do you want?
Ma'am, it's up to you. Your choice.
Okay. 5. It's enough?
5 out of 5.
No, 5 of the 20.
Ma'am, no, 20 out of 20.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Matullah.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
did you give me 20?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Matullah. Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
last question, solution of
Ma'am, what
genetic
solution?
problems.
Solution of genetic problems?
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, ma'am, first of all, ma'am, means you are asking about the genetic diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, they we can solve them by regular checking. And if we follow a healthy diet and get regular exercise, avoid smoking and alcohol, and get specific genetic testing that can help us with the diagnosis and then treatment also. So these are the
Mm-hmm.
simple things uh, that through which we can prevent ourselves. And the common traits or characteristics it can pass on to an individual at the time of birth. So genetic disorders are not curable, but can
Mm-hmm.
only be prevented. So we should prevent them. We cannot cure them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the simple thing about
Okay.
solution.
Matula, and on the model, and I will give you an exemption.
Which ma'am?
If exemption,
Exemption?
Ma'am,
yes.
exemption from which thing?
What?
What sort of exemption do you want to give us?
Just Matula, just
Okay,
Matula. On the
Okay,
model, I will give you an exemption. If you continue like this, and I
ma'am,
will ask one question and
मतुल्ला
automatically
तुझे
put
इस्तिस्ना
100
हासिल
points.
है.
okay ma'am.
Do you
Okay,
understand?
okay ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
thank you.
give us this chance as well.
मातीला मुझे दे दो.
भाई पहले मुझे समझाओ इसका मतलब क्या है?
इस्तिस्ना हासिल है तुझे मती मॉडल पे. तू मैम के सवाल के जवाब देगा बस.
ओ अच्छा,
Hmm.
ओ ये तो
Ma'am,
कमाल हो
he
गया।
got it now. He
मती मुझे
understood it.
मती दे मती मुझे
He didn't
तुम
understand, yes?
Ma'am,
Yes ma'am, but
I
now I
made him
understand.
understand.
Ma'am,
Okay.
ma'am, it means that I do not upload the model assignment.
No, I will ask just one question, and that's all.
Okay ma'am, okay, now I
Okay,
get.
ma'am.
Thank you ma'am. You are so nice ma'am.
मती एक तो दे दो ना.
क्या?
एक
you
थूमा.
don't have to. You don't have to write on the model.
Okay
Oh,
ma'am.
on the этот model, yes.
Yes ma'am,
Your
model.
okay.
Ma'am, this offer is for me because you are happy or you are angry.
I don't understand.
Ma'am, I means that you give me this offer. So
Mm-hmm.
you are happy to me or you are angry to me.
No, no, no. Happy.
Okay ma'am, happy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you ma'am.
Okay. Okay, guys. And for the next time, I will explain another topics with this topic, and I will solve the questions, sorry, tasks and exercises. Okay.
Okay ma'am.
Ma'am, will you upload today on Moodle
Yes.
these topics?
मैम
Yes.
हैप्पी एडवांस ईद मुबारक.
Farhan Ahmad, I don't understand you.
Ma'am, he says
Ma'am,
that happy Ramzan Mubarak.
Okay. Thank you.
मैम
Ma'am, Farhan Ahmed is very sad because he will be in jail after 4 days.
Mm-hmm. And you too, a holiday is Ramadan.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
guys, do you understand this topic?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The next
Mm,
time I will explain in detail and I will solve exercises, okay? And
Okay,
today I will upload your homework, okay?
Ma'am,
okay, ma'am.
How many
when will
marks?
we study the X-linked recessive or Y-linked diseases?
What?
X-linked diseases and Y-linked diseases.
I don't understand you.
Ma'am, he is asking that when we will do about X-linked diseases and Y-linked diseases.
Please write to the chat because I have an internet problem. I don't understand you.
Ma'am, how many marks of Alita Saddak?
Okay, Alita Sadik. Alita Sadik. Oh, Alita Sadik. Again, gen theory. You should explain us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, explain.
Ma'am, gene theory is the idea that genes are the basic unit in which characteristics are passed from one generation to other generation.
Mm-hmm.
Genes themselves are the basic unit of heredity. The gene theory provides the basis for understanding how genes enable parents to transmit traits to their offspring. It is also key element in the study of genes and
Mm-hmm.
genetics. Genes are the central object studied by the science of genetics. The study of gene enable the science of genetics, how explain information that to make a new organism is passed from one generation to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Today we know that genes are the made of DNA, and we are also able to state clearly that we also known as the rules or law of inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Less than about 150 years ago, scientists knew nothing about cellular level that affect heredity. Since then, the scientists of heredity have been
Mm-hmm.
making regular and spectacular advances so that at the beginning of 21st century, scientists are close to learn that entire set of genetic information and genetic instruction that go to form a single human being. Today,
Mm-hmm.
scientists know that about 80,000 or so genes that make up that might be called human human blueprint. It is also individual that no two peoples are exactly alike, except for the identical twins. Gene theory also show us that extreme individuality that can be occur.
Mm-hmm.
It was firstly recognized by Krieger John Mendel, who experiment with breeding different types of pea plants that described, and this process is called hereditary factors or hereditary genes. The first things that Mendel discovered was that is crossing plant with different pure traits, such as all tall plants with all short ones. Only a single trait was expressed. Therefore, he considered his expression dominant trait was therefore not blended, resulting in a medium-high plant, but were expressed as individual traits. Mendel also found that a regular ratio of 3 to 1 existence from the number of dominant tall and various short traits.
Okay. Um, Mateula, your question, X-linked disease and Y. Okay. Uh, we will study on the 8th lesson about this one.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. After the 1 week.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, guys. This was Alita Sadık, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
20. And
Please tell
Uzaev
me my
Zubairi and
number.
with Kifayatullah is absent. They should work out this topic. And how many students do you have in your group?
Ma'am, there are total 14 students, out of which 4 students have finished their semester, and now 10 students are taking the lecture, out of which maybe 3 are absent today.
Kifayatullah, Uzaev Zubairi, and third one?
Ma'am, Asim Khan, Fawad Ali Khan, and Awais Khan.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 are absent.
Asim Khan and?
Ma'am, Asim Khan, Fawad Ali Khan, and Awais Khan.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Ma'am,
absent today.
please tell me the marks of Ali Tasaddak.
20
मैंने
marks,
मैंने
20.
बताया तो है 20 मार्क्स हैं 20 नंबर पूरे
20 mark, Alita Sadık.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and okay. Matteula, here, yes. Farhan Unar.
Yes, ma'am. Here, Rahanuna return us along.
Farhan Unar. Zero. Next one. Farhan Ahmad.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Majid Rehman.
Present, ma'am.
And okay, Halita Sadik is here. Okay, thank you
Present.
guys. See you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Okay,
you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
and please pray
See you
for
next
the
week.
Farhan Ahmed
Thank
because
you,
he will
ma'am.
be in jail after 4 days.
Mati,
Ma'am,
Mati,
pray for Farhan Ahmad. He will go to mental hospital.
Okay, guys.
ma'am, Pakistani actress Mira Khan, I think he is Pagal Khan.
Ma'am, when the first Ramzan starts, the Farhan Ahmed will be in jail, and in 30 Ramzan, he is released from jail.
He is Shaitan, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, he is Shaitan.
ma'am, you know about Shaitan, ma'am.
Yes.
Mess में
Ma'am, if
Farhan
you
is
don't
Shaitan.
know, then
Simple.
see Farhan Ahmed. If you don't know about Shaitan.
Okay.
He will take lectures from the prison.
Farhan Ahmad is Shaitan.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes,
Why?
ma'am.
Ma'am, he
Ma'am,
will be in
Ma'am,
jail
he
after
is
4 days.
supporter of Shaitan. He is
ma'am,
younger
after
brother to
4 days,
Shaitan.
Ma'am,
Farhan Ahmad, what do
ma'am,
you think about this one?
ma'am, I am just joking. Not really this guys in talking about me, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, maybe he mind our talks.
Okay. See you guys.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Take
Thank you,
care.
ma'am.
Ma'am, happy birthday.